On today's edition of Cronkite Sports Live, ASU Baseball is scorching. For the first time since 2010, they own the state of Arizona. We'll tell you about that in a new edition of The Vault.
Plus, activating the Valley has quickly become a popular motto in Tempe thanks to Kenny Dillingham, and we'll show you where he's been across campus to bring that phase to life.
And later, we're highlighting a Sun Devil who has quite simply dominated NCAA swimming and could very well be the most decorated athlete at the school. All of this and more on Cronkite Sports Live. We're back, and with the Final Four being this weekend, and Jim Nantz doing his call of the event for the very last time, I say to you, hello friends, and welcome into Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Riley Swenson, that's Sammy Miller.
A lot coming at you. We have baseball, softball, and of course some more Kenny Dillingham content that I know everyone wants to see.
We're going to start though with baseball. They are hot right now, and they did something last week that has only been done one time before. CSL Stats and Info team, also known as me and my laptop, did some research and have provided the subject for this week's Vault. Let's flash you back to last Tuesday. I know what you're thinking. That's not much of a Vault segment, but stick with me. We're going to get there, I promise. ASU opened up their week against GCU, taking them down 11-1, their largest victory against the Antelopes in program history, and also just the 5th time they've ever beat them. Fast forward into the weekend, and the team stayed hot, taking down Arizona, another in-state rival, sweeping them in the 3-game set, taking down the Wildcats in the Territorial Cup. So what's the significance of all this? Well, the last time an ASU team beat both GCU and the weekend series against Arizona, they had a pretty successful season. Let's flash you back to 2010 and see how they fared. Yes, here we go, a real Vault segment, the old grainy footage, the ESPN graphic package, and this is in 2010, like I said, taking on Arkansas in the Super Regional. You see that little #1 up by Arizona State? That's because they're the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, and this home run from Drew Magi right here would lift them over the Razorbacks and put them in the College World Series. The Devils are going back to Omaha, a place they were just a season ago in 2009, and when they got to Omaha, it didn't go exactly how they wanted to, losing the opening round game to Clemson before dropping this one here 11-4 against South Carolina. But I think we can all agree on one thing. These were some glory days of ASU baseball, and this is where Willie Bloomquist wants to get the program back to.
Get them to understand what this means, what Sun Devil baseball means to me, what it means to a lot of people in this community, our alumni, fans, people that have been here and seen this program grow to the heights that it was, and I think everybody's hungry to get it back.
All right, so jumping back to the present day, there's a handful of players who have made a huge impact on the team and its success so far this season. To highlight those players, here's Cooper Hancock.
Winning 11 of their last 12, Sun Devil baseball was on a roll. 5 Sun Devils have done nothing but perform in the maroon and gold. First up, the shortstop in Luke Hill. The freshman has found a hit in 20 of 24 games played this season, leading him to a .364 batting average. At the top of the Sun Devils rotation, Ross Dunn has performed well. The transfer from Florida State in his last 16 innings only allowed 4 runs with 21 strikeouts. His 11.52 punchouts per 9 innings ranked 3rd in the Pac-12. Introducing freshman Nu Contrades. The Hawaiian native has been on an absolute tear. The Pac-12 Player of the Week showed everyone why with his 3rd home run in as many games during the Tuesday night win against UNLV. In ASU's last 12 games, Contrades is batting .472 with 5 homers and 5 doubles, and a team-best 21 RBIs. Another Pac-12 Player of the Week, a transfer from San Francisco, Luke Keishel has only shined as a Sun Devil. Before winning the honor, he went 9 for 13 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs in the series against the Utah Utes. Keishel has prospered in the cleanup spot as he has hit 17 extra base hits, along with a .333 batting average on the year with 7 home runs and 27 RBIs. As a freshman, coming in as the second-ranked catcher in Arizona, Ryan Campos blew away expectations in his rookie season. Now into his sophomore season, Campos holds an astonishing .404 batting average, the second best in the Pac-12. while also leading the team in hits with 36 and an on-base percentage of .522. As the Sun Devils continue to fire on all cylinders, head coach Willie Bloomquist can feel accomplished in the additions he made in the offseason. Conference play rolls on, but the goal will be the same, to put Tempe back on the map. For Cronkite Sports, I'm Cooper Hancock.
Those 5 don't seem to be cooling down anytime soon, which is a great sign for the team heading into this Cal series that kicks off tonight. And for more on who these Golden Bears are and what the Sun Devils should expect from them, we bring in our baseball reporter, Sean Brennan. Now, Sean, the Golden Bears had a very hot start during their non-conference play, but how have they fared since?
Well, it really has been a tale of 2 seasons for Cal. Coming out of the gates, their offense propelled them to an 8-3 start, and during that 11-game slate, they averaged 6.5 runs per game and picked up a huge upset over rival and then number 2 Stanford. But then conference play rolled around and it didn't go too well. So far, coming into this weekend, they've been outscored 56-32 in conference games, and with the 2-7 mark after that kind of hot start that we both mentioned, that puts them in 10th place in the pack. So not the best stretch, but ASU really can't take this Cal team lightly.
And even though they have been going through some recent struggles, who should the Sun Devils be kind of afraid for this weekend?
Well, it has been the struggle bus offensively, but Cal, all 9 of their really starters can make a difference. I mean, infielder Peyton Scholes, since conference play got started, he's been on a tear. He has the most hits, RBIs, and home runs during that stretch. And if you're looking for a consistent guy, look no further than Rodney Green Jr. He leads his team in OPS, has for the entire season, always seems to get on base. But the thing is that that's only 2 of the guys. I mean, Caleb Lomavita, Carson Crawford, Dom Soto, you go down the list. If this lineup gets into a collective groove, it's going to be a tough and hard-fought series for the Sun Devils.
And now that we talked all about the offense, who should the Sun Devils be expecting from those starters?
Well, based off of the last 2 series, we should see Christian Becerra tonight. He has 17 strikeouts, 10 walks, and a 5.40 ERA. Now, the main Saturday guy has been Paul-Sean Pascalotto. He has 15 strikeouts and a sub-2 ERA. And last but not least, Sunday is going to be Connor Sullivan. He is a workhorse. He has the most innings pitched and the most strikeouts on the Bears, and he did all that while maintaining a 1.29 whip. So we'll see how this red-hot ASU lineup fares against the Golden Bears staff that looked really good at Oregon State last week.
It should definitely be an exciting series. I'm excited to watch. Thank you so much for coming in. And the series kicks off tonight at 7 o'clock, the first pitch on the Pac-12 networks. Also tap into cronkitesports.com for some premier coverage.
I'm a Sun Devil for life, Thank him for coming here and, taking a chance on this program. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
I felt the energy when I first got back here. I've seen some different things on the internet at times, just seeing like the different vibe he brings and, him, activating the Valley.
I think Coach Dilly's the guy. I see him, activate the Valley. I think that's what we need. Bringing the in-state kids home. I think that's what Arizona State needs, and I'm looking forward to seeing the future of this program.
I guess you could say Kenny is kind of like a dilly bar because he's got everyone all jacked up. Not only has he rubbed off on the football team, he's got the whole campus excited with his catchphrase, "Activate the Valley." To give us more on the whereabouts of Kenny D, here's Blake Neiman.
When Kenny Dillingham said he would activate the Valley in his introductory press conference, he meant every word. Since then, Dillingham has made appearances all across the Valley on several different occasions. Starting less than a week after being hired, he went down to Desert Financial Arena to support the ASU basketball team as they began Pac-12 play. In his first appearance as head coach, Dillingham wasted no time getting his message across, taking center court for a halftime speech, challenging Sun Devil fans to step up their support around the community. Later that month, Dillingham headed just down the road to another new attraction, Mullet Arena, dropping the puck around the same time he dropped the bomb on the transfer portal, lighting the spark of the fire to come. About a month passed, and then Dillingham decided to head back to DFA, except this time he brought his new squad of Sun Devils with him to support their peers on the hardwood, giving them a taste of the fun that was to come in the spring. During his first week of practice, Dillingham and his players engaged in a friendly shootout in honor of the end of ASU's basketball season and the first round of the NCAA tournament. He would praise Bobby Hurley and his squad for the effort they gave and the promising future they have ahead of them.
And, I'm a diehard Sun Devil for life. It's reaching heights, and it's at one of the higher points and continuing to grow than I've seen in my history of watching ASU basketball.
Uncoincidentally, Hurley was given a contract extension just last week through 2026. Whether Dillingham's advocacy for Hurley was a factor in that decision, well, we'll leave that up to you to decide. To bring Dillingham's activation plan full circle, he set out for Phoenix Municipal Stadium, where he threw out the first honorary pitch of the Territorial Cup Series. While Dillingham may have failed to find the strike zone, his energy helped rally life into the record-setting crowd that cheered behind ASU Baseball's first sweep of Arizona since 2019.
I'm pumped that Coach Dillingham came out and brought his football team out and got the crowd going a little bit there early. And you know, he has done a great job at marketing the Ignite the Valley.
The dots all connect, with Kenny Dillingham being the uniting force. All around the Valley, he has planted the seeds that are starting to sprout and give life to the Sun Devil fan base he hopes will not just take football, but all ASU athletics to national prominence.
Thanks for that, Blake. But Kenny, man, you missed the best spot on campus. Of course, I'm talking about Club Farrington. It's softball time on the desk, and here to give us an update on where ASU is at in their season is WCSN softball reporter Lauren Nunez. And Lauren, the bats started off hot for this team, but they have tailed off as of late. What has led to those struggles?
Yeah, it's been a rough patch for Arizona State since their series loss against Arizona. They've lost 7 out of their last 10 games in which they've been shut out 5 times, and you can really blame that on the offense and straining way too many runners. If you look back at the series they had against Cal, they had some great small ball play and some aggressive base running. However, none of that really matters if you don't score those runs. So if they want to hit above 300 against Washington and not be ranked second lowest in runs with only 46 in Pac-12, they're going to have to fix that lineup, especially in the middle.
Yeah, and looking at the numbers, they lead the conference in terms of the disparity between earned runs and runs allowed. So they're making some errors in the field. What has led to that struggle?
Yeah, unlike the offense, the defense has always struggled. They have 37 errors so far in the season and have allowed 103 runs to opposing teams, in which only 71 of those have actually been earned. So if they want to improve a 5-10 record against winning teams, especially this weekend, they're going to have to really clean that defense in order to back up both their pitching and their offense and win some ball games.
All right, Lauren, as always, thank you so much. The Sun Devils are looking to turn it around, but it won't be an easy task as number 8 Washington visits Tempe. To help preview what ASU can expect with the Huskies, we bring in Justin Lacertosa. Justin?
Yeah, guys, so after the Sun Devils dropped their series last weekend to Cal 2-1, they're back here this weekend at Farrington Stadium, where they'll be hosting number 8 ranked Washington at home, who had a great weekend in their own right, sweeping ASU's rival across the street in the Arizona Wildcats. And Washington right now is home to both the Pac-12 Player of the Week as well as the Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. Maddie Husky taking home the Player of the Week honors, where she batted a stellar 400 while also posting up 3 RBIs and 2 home runs, while the freshman Alana Johnson, she batted a team high 556 while also tallying 4 home runs herself. Washington is number 8 ranked in the country, and it's for good reason. Right now they sit atop the Pac-12, tied with Cal at first in home runs with 42, and they also sit second in batters struck out at 245. This is an Arizona State Sun Devil team that has had trouble scoring and getting momentum going early within the first few innings of the game, so they're going to have to put their first inning struggles as well as their offensive adversity behind them, and they're going to have to find a way to get momentum early if they want to topple a conference powerhouse this weekend.
Thank you for joining us, Justin. You can catch ASU softball tonight as they take on the Huskies at 6 p.m. on ASU's live stream.
ASU Beach Volleyball is coming off their best Pac-12 season, and with 14 returners, they're picking up right where they left off. Sun Devils are currently 7-7 and have the momentum on their side. Let's head over to the sand. ASU versus number 18 University of Arizona. Now the Sun Devils had a pretty slow start. They ended up dropping the first 2 matches, but then they took it up to the next gear. They would end up winning the next 2. That means it all came down to the final match on court number 1. For the Sun Devils, it is Lexi Sweeney and Kylie Wickley, and for Arizona, Alex Parkhurst and Sarah Blacker. Right here, Sweeney setting up her partner for the smart little tip over. Wickley with the pass, Sweeney with the set, and the pokey to put it down, securing the first half of the Territorial Cup. ASU would end up winning 3-2, and here's what Lexi Sweeney had to say on the huge win.
It's amazing, especially with these courts being given to us last year. We just want to prove that we deserve to be here and we deserve to be a part of these facilities, and I think we did that today.
You want to talk success at ASU? Look no further than the ASU golf programs. To fill us in on both the men's and women's teams, we bring in WCSN golf reporter Ben Paris. And Ben, we're both a couple of guys who love to play golf, but we're not so good at it, so let's just talk about it. Fill us in on each of those teams and how they've done so far this season.
Yeah, Riley, the men's team has played in 8 tournaments so far this season, the women in 9s, and while neither of them have won a tournament as a team, there has been some stellar performances from some individuals. We start on the men's side, guys like Preston Summerhays, Jose Le Ballester, Gabe Salvarena, and of course, Riggs Johnson, the senior, have all shot rounds of 64 or better in tournaments. That is extremely good golf. And on the women's side, Ashley Menny has shot a 7 under par 65 at the Match in the Desert, a little 4-team tournament with UCLA, Baylor, and Arizona to claim her first collegiate win. And then last week, the women's team hosted their signature event at Papago, the Ping ASU Invitational, and 4 of the golfers finished in the top 11 in the tournament. And as a team, they took down 6 other top 15 teams, so really impressive there. And then overall, the men's team checking at number 5 in the country, and the women cracked the top 10 this week. They check in at number 9.
Yeah, you talk about the team aspect there. As we well know, golf is also an individual sport. Who are some of those names we should be keeping an eye on as we make our way down the stretch towards the NCAA championships?
For me, the biggest difference maker for the men's team has been the freshman combo of Luke Partle and Potter and Michael Miesith. It's been so impressive how these guys, just their first year, have already performed so well for the team. They've combined for 13 rounds in the 60s and have 13 rounds each shooting even par or better. And all 5 of the ASU starters are ranked top 100 in the nation. Just the freshmen are ranked inside the top 50. So as a team, that's going to lead to a lot of success because this is a program that loses guys to professional tours the same way that a basketball team or a football team might lose guys to a draft. So when you're able to have young talent, that's really going to push you as you head towards the postseason. Now, for the women's team, when you look at Amanda Linner and Ashley Menny, those are the back-to-back Pac-12 Women's Golfer of the Week, a new award that the conference established just this year. And Amanda went 3-0 at the Cactus Cup earlier this season, a little match play event, which is really impressive when you think about the format of the national championship because it is a match play event. And then Ashley Menny has the lowest scoring average on the team. Shot a 4 under par 68 bogey free on Saturday of the Ping ASU Invitational. And then she's playing in the biggest event in women's amateur golf this week. She was at the Augusta National Women's Amateur, and she got to play a little practice round today at Augusta National, home of the Masters next week. And not a lot of people get to play there. It's one of the most exclusive golf courses in the world. So if you get to play there, you're pretty good.
Yeah, that is for sure. It feels weird to say. The weather's just getting nice outside, Ben, but the season's winding down. What do each of these teams have left as we come down the stretch?
Yeah, so each team has just 1 tournament left before they get ready for Pac-12s, NCAA regionals, and then the national championship. For the women, they head out to California, but the men's team still gets to host their signature event, the Thunderbird Collegiate at Papago, and then after that, they'll get ready for Pac-12s. The women's team, the week after that, when they come back for Pac-12s, it's at Papago as well, where they just hosted the Ping ASU, and it's their home course. So they have a serious advantage there. Home court advantage does exist in golf, just like any other sport, because it's a course they get to practice at, a course they've already hosted a tournament at, and now the course that they get to play Pac-12s at. So that's going to be a big deal for them. And then, of course, the men's and the women's team both get to play at Grayhawk, a course that they're extremely familiar with, 3rd time in a row in the cycle that the national championship is held there. Just up the road in Scottsdale, everybody's familiar with that course. They've played it before. So when the national championship comes around, they're definitely going to be ready, and we should expect them to make a run at the national championship.
All right, Ben, real quick before I let you go, the Masters next weekend. Yeah. Do you have a pick?
I'm excited, Riley. I got to pick our guy, John Rahm, the ASU guy. Just so much fun to follow. While he was a Sun Devil, I think he's going to have the green jacket on Sunday.
Absolutely great pick there, Ben. As always, thank you for coming in. And stay tuned to our coverage of the golf season as it winds down throughout the rest of the way.
ASU men's tennis started conference play 0-2 on the road with a chance to get their first Pac-12 win this season against USC. Landon Jeffrey is live at Whitman Tennis Center to preview the Trojans.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Whitman Tennis Center as the Arizona State men's tennis team is hosting the 2 Los Angeles schools this weekend. Tonight, ASU will host the number 9th ranked USC Trojans. Both schools are on a 2-game losing streak and are looking to bounce back into the win column. However, this will be no easy task for ASU. Currently, the Trojans have 3 players ranked inside the Intercollegiate Tennis Association rankings. However, the Sun Devils, which they are hoping they have a recipe for success this weekend. They've been dominant in their own backyard this season. They have a 9-1 home record, and the Trojans are currently winless on the road. Sophomore phenom Murphy Consone will be looking to lead the charge this weekend. He has won 5 of his last 6 matches and is the only player ranked inside the Intercollegiate Tennis Association rankings. Sunday marked the first time that UCLA and Arizona State will face off against each other. 2 years ago, ASU was triumphant in that victory, winning a nail-biter 4-3. With a sweep this weekend, Arizona State will jump up into the Pac-12 standings with a 2-2 record and flip the script from a losing one into a winning one. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for checking in with us, Landon. Moving on now to Arizona State Gymnastics. The Sun Devils are currently competing in the NCAA Championships. Looks like things are just getting started there in Pittsburgh. Arizona State kicking things off on the floor in the bottom right corner of your screen. A long road ahead of them as they climb their way to the top of the tournament. And to give us a look, after posting a national qualifying score of the 197.105, the team earned a 15 seed in the tournament. They're currently competing in Session 2 of the Pittsburgh Regional Semifinals against number 2 Florida, Maryland, and Penn State. If ASU can finish in the top 2 in Session 2, the Sun Devils will advance to the regional finals to take on the winners from Session 1, which are number 7 California and number 10 Michigan State. In its 2 regular seasons meetings this season, Cal defeated ASU both times. In order to qualify for the NCAA National Semifinals in Fort Worth, ASU would need to finish within the top 2 of the Pittsburgh Regional Finals. If ASU is not able to qualify as a team, individual athletes can still be eligible to move on to Fort Worth. So I hope you wrote all that down at home. It should be easy enough, right?
So the NCAA championships are ongoing for ASU gymnastics, but wrapped up last weekend for men's swim.
Yeah, the Swim Devils finished in 2nd place, the team's highest finish in program history.
And a big part of that team, we've talked about him all year long, so you definitely should know his name by now, Leon Marchand. Just absolutely dominant throughout the season and during the NCAA championships.
He absolutely was. This guy swept his individual events, winning the 200 IM, 200 breast, and 400 IM, setting new NCAA records in each event.
And winning was the standard for him all season long as he won all of the 26 individual events he raced in. He became the first Division I NCAA champion swimmer to have an undefeated season since Cal's Natalie Coughlin did it in 2003.
Yeah, and that's a long time ago, Sammy. I mean, that's 5 years before Blake Neiman was even born. So it's no surprise he was named the Men's Swimmer of the Year by the College Swimming Coaches Association of America for the 2nd consecutive season.
And he's only a sophomore. I have a feeling we are going to be seeing this guy with an Olympic gold medal around his neck one day. All eyes tend to be on football, basketball, and baseball, but over the past few years, they haven't found the most success. Instead, it has been the Olympic sports that have taken over and turned heads around the nation. Swimming, wrestling, and triathlon have been on a tear as of late. In the pool, the Devils finished 2nd at the NCAA championships for the highest mark in program history, with, of course, what possibly could be the next Michael Phelps on their team, breaking records left and right. Heading to the mats, ASU has finished 3 years in a row in the top 10 nationally with 13 All-Americans in that span, as well as 3 Pac-12 championships in the last 4 years. And the triathlon squad has won 6 straight national championships. Yes, you heard me correctly, 6. Absolutely dominant to say the least. On January 9th, 2014, Ray Anderson was named the athletic director, and since his arrival, he has emphasized his commitment to the Olympic movement as a university and athletic department. That promise has definitely stayed true. Now, some of the best athletes in the country are coming to Tempe to be a part of this movement. That trend is looking to be carried over to the field, court, and diamond. There's a reason why Kenny Dillingham says, activate the Valley. He wants to bring Sun Devil athletics to the next level, and that starts now. The Olympic sports have been carrying the weight, and it's time for the big 3 to step up. And that's the way it is.
Time for some top plays now, starting on at number 5, ASU Baseball. There's Wyatt Crenshaw sending one out to deep right center field. Look at the bat flip, folks. My goodness, he put that one in the air. So nice, we got to see it twice. Sun Devils get the sweep over Arizona.
And for number 4, we are heading to Viva Las Vegas. It's ASU versus UNLV. Look at Isaiah Jackson's dive. He is feeling so fresh and so clean.
A nice play there. We go to a different sport, same concept though. Outfielders tracking balls down. Here's McKenna Harper running into the corner, making the catch, but hold on here just a second. She goes through the gate. Cal, that is a player safety problem there. We got to get that fixed as soon as possible. More from this game in a moment.
For number 2, like you said, we are staying hot with ASU softball right here. The Virginia Tech transfer, Alexia Milius, with the 2-run shot. Look at it go. It was tied 2-2, but of course ASU would end up defeating the Cal Golden Bears in extra innings. Absolutely phenomenal job by the Sun Devils right there.
Yeah, some clutch plays right there, and we have some more for you coming up at number 1. And who else would it be? It's Leon Marchand. It was pretty easy for our highlight team to cut this one up because you turn on a race, he's going to win. He was on my fantasy swimming team this year. He's been killing it for me all year long. He set records in 3 different events. The first swimmer, of course, since 2003 to run the table and go undefeated and led his team to their best finish all time. They took second at the swim championships in Minneapolis.
Riley, it really is one of the best weekends of sports with the MLB kicking off its season and, of course, the men's and women's Final Four where the national champs will be crowned. From all of us here at Cronkite Sports Live, he's Riley Swenson. I'm Sammy Miller. We'll see you next week.